And welcome back. It's now 7 minutes away from 7 o'clock, and as promised before the break, we're sitting down to speak with the national president of the Belize Association of Justices of the Peace and Commissioners of the Courts. Supreme Court. Danny Madrid.
Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, let's start off by just talking about the association itself, how long it has been around, and what's the membership like?
Yeah. Okay. The association will be completing 15 years Sunday. We started in the year 2000, and we have been going strong with little difficulties, but we have been surviving. It took us like from 1998 to 2000 to actually get our act together. We had to, it's something that was done by a couple of us JPs who sat down and realized that there was nothing for JPs in the country. And there's still nothing, only the association exists. There's nothing in the ministry to say. So we decided to form this association, traveling the entire country, meeting people and get JPs together. So we're where we are now. We have our act, which was signed in 2013. We have our bylaws for the association. There is over 3,000 JPs, but our record shows that we only have like 600 registered in the association. And it's a problem, we know, because the main thing that we're trying to change is the way they appoint JPs. Because I was appointed politically, and a lot of people are appointed politically, and we're trying to change that. But
why change it? And let's talk about the role of a JP and how they are appointed.
Yeah, a JP, the way it's done sometimes, because we try to do different. The way you get appointed as a JP through the association is that there's an application form that you have to fill out. The application form tells you must bring a police record, you must have 2 letters of recommendation, and you must attend training session, which only the association does training. Politically, you're appointed just because you raise a flag or you belong to a political party. You don't need to present a police record. You don't need to do nothing, and that's one of the problems that we have, because a lot of out of the 3,000 JPs, a lot of them are just there. It's like a tree with the limbs and some bad fruits, and they're pulling you down, and that's the problem that we've been having.
Of the 3,000, how many would you say are politically appointed?
Maybe 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah, because
and the others applied through the system?
Applied through the system, yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's known because we have been having problems since 2006. Because before 2006, I lobbied the mayor at the time. So we had an office, we had a secretary in the commercial center, which we used to work along with the courts, because I used to be responsible for the municipal courts and as a city councilor. So we lobbied the mayor, and we did have an office. In 2006, it changed, and we were kicked out, basically. And in 2008, then we had a change of government, and we spoke to the then Attorney General, and we had a meeting with him. I took out my president to meet him, wrote him a letter to see the way forward for the association and the ministry, because whenever we perform, the ministry looks good. And we had a cordial meeting, and after that, the door was closed, and that's the end of it. We're happy now that we have a new Attorney General, and I went to visit her again, wrote her a letter, and we sat down and spoke with her, and she's very positive about everything. So she will be our guest speaker this Sunday at our AGM. We'll be appointing new JPs through the association. We'll be appointing senior JPs at that meeting. So we feel that things have changed, and
what's the role of a JP? Because I think that's one of the things that people aren't quite sure.
Other than signing documents for passports and things of that nature.
A JP is like guardians of the people. We visit the police station when there's somebody's charged for a crime, and you're present there to protect that person, to see that the person's rights is protected. Maybe the police would beat him, and then you'll ask him questions. Are you okay? Did they hit you or anything? And then you are there to represent. Even if the person is guilty, but the person has a right We do a parade, to identify people. We sign passport documents. We find affidavits. Oh, there's so many documents that we have to sign. But
and in terms of who you report to,
we report to nobody. That's
it's an independent.
It's an independent
association.
The association is independent from the government. They don't control us, and I think that's one of the problems. Because
would it be better if you had an association with a particular department or office?
yes, I would think so. Yes,
Like,
definitely.
given the role that you've described, especially when it comes to the justice portion and human rights interest,
Yeah.
perhaps with the ombudsman's office or something along those lines?
As a matter of fact, through the Chief Justice, because we have a very good relationship with the Chief Justice, through the commissioners, because the association is not only JPs, it's also commissioners of the Supreme
Yeah.
Court. And through the Chief Justice, we have had a very good relationship. And through his efforts, the Human Rights Commission of Belize, along with the U.S. Embassy, will be doing training for all JPs this year. And through the U.S. Embassy, they have donated about $50,000 to train JPs. It takes like 12 months to do the training, involving the criminal justice JPs. It will benefit the police, the criminal justice system, through lawyers and whatnot. So we feel happy that this year we'll be able to do something for JPs, because we have been trying for so many years and nothing has been happening.
Is the appointment permanent?
Yes, but you can lose it. The only way you can lose it if you're bankrupt.
Okay. Is it perhaps, because what you point out obviously are very critical issues, a politically appointed post, and it has been, everybody's doing that for a long time. Not everybody may have fulfilled the requirements in the beginning, but because it was politically appointed. But you do have a role in terms of being guardians of justice and standing up for people and verifying information. Is there perhaps room to look at a reapplication process or a recertification process to ensure that those who you do have meet the criteria and will carry out the new order or the refreshed order that you're speaking about?
We have had discussions about that, because many JPs at our meetings suggest that we do that. And we have been talking to some people, and everybody agrees that it must be done. But because of the relationship with the ministry, you can't do anything. You just can't discuss it. But yes, I believe that we should have a re-registration of JPs, because there's a lot of JPs out there who does nothing. Everybody that comes to my office to get a signature will tell me, I've been walking around all morning and I just can't find a JP, which is true. So a lot of them are appointed JPs and commissioners, and they hide behind the title. Only when they need it is when you will see them.
So there's nothing set out in terms of the role, accepting the role, that says that you must meet a certain number of, no, let me rephrase the question. There's nothing set out in terms of your roles and responsibilities that you should ensure that you are representing people or actively seeking out your responsibilities?
There is, but only through the association. We have our rules for JPs.
Okay.
But if the JP does not comply with the rules and regulations for the association, there's nothing we can do, because we don't have that. Just now we're having that relationship with the ministry, because the Attorney General is actually the one who's in charge of the association. We kept it that way in our act, because we didn't want to take the responsibility off. We left it with the Attorney General. So whenever we have applications for people who apply to the association, we will send up the information to the ministry, and he will decide yes or no, or she will decide yes or no.
And in terms of the training that you provide, how comprehensive is it, and how does it prepare? Because you talk about some people holding the position forever.
Yeah.
What is the kind of due diligence that a JP should be able to conduct?
Yeah, well, with the training, right? Again, as I mentioned before, there's nothing in the ministry for JPs. So the training is done by us. When we started the association, we realized that JPs did not know exactly how to look at the document or to sign a document. So we went to each ministry. Each ministry, we took it on our own to sit with them and say, what do you want on this document? How do you want this document to be signed? And we found out that every so often the rules changes depending on how the person wakes up in the morning, how he feels. Oh, this you can't do this. You have to do it this way. So we said, let's try to standardize. You know, and that's the problem we have right now with the application of passports.
With immigration.
Yes, you go to Belmopan and they turn you back because
we hear tons of stories with
the
people
name is
saying
this and your
things
name
are
is on
different.
this. You know, so that's the reason why we went to them. Went to them and said, okay, this is how you want it, and then we became trainers.
Yeah.
So there's only 3 of us who does the training countrywide, but because of this new program that we're having with the UN Embassy and the Human Rights Commission, we'll be training like 10 to 15 JPs from each chapter, so that they then will become trainers, and they will be able to go into the villages, because in the villages you have a lot of JPs who, I'm sorry that they don't attend meetings, they don't know nothing. So I think this will help us to be trainers and go in and actually train JPs.
One question I always have, because I've met a couple JPs and they say the services that they offer free of cost, yet some people also charge for some of the services.
If you go to the immigration department, all right, and it's people, the authorities know it. You go outside and you need a document to be signed. There's a guy outside who signs a document for you, not even knowing you, not even, he charges. But we, in our own investigation, and I might get in trouble by saying this, but we feel like there's a connection inside. And that's the way it happens, you know.
But JPs are not supposed to charge for the service.
No. And that's what we are trying to push, because we receive reports all the time from people who send us written affidavit that this JP is charging for his services, and we say the JP should not charge, but there's nothing the association can do if we do not have the support of the ministry.
So, and that's an important point I wanted to touch on. With this relationship that you are initiating with the new Attorney General, what has been expressed in your meetings so far? Is there a look at being able to revamp what is currently in place for the Justice of Peace system at this point?
Well, we haven't reached at that stage as yet, because the first meeting was just to prepare for the annual general meeting, and those that we have, the applicants that we have sent up to the ministry to be approved. So that is it. We are in the first stage right now. We are happy that the Attorney General, Ms. Honorable Vanessa Ritridge, accepted to be our guest speaker, because we haven't had a guest speaker from the government since 2008. We have had the Chief Justice, we have Minister House being our guest speaker and so forth, but not the Attorney General. We have tried, and we haven't had. So we're happy, and so we're concentrating more on what will happen this weekend.
Let me ask. Some people look at the system of the Justice of Peace, and for many reasons that you've already pointed out, it's a permanent appointment, political appointment. There's really no monitoring that can take place in terms of who's effectively fulfilling their roles or who's doing so with the integrity that the post is supposed to hold. And some may say it's obsolete at this point, that it's unnecessary, and perhaps there's no need to even continue the program. Why do you feel that this is still a necessary rule in our society today?
It is because JPs signs document every single day, every minute. There's a lot of people who need our services. It's amazing to know how much people, as I get to my office, you have 1, 2, 3, instead of doing business, people are sitting outside waiting to, they have to go to the vital statistics, they change their name, late registration, debt registration, and you name it, bail for people. It's amazing to know how much work a Justice of the Peace and a commissioner has to do. A commissioner, like if you're summoned to be a juror, you need to be excused. You have to be signed by a commissioner to get excused from a juror.
We didn't get a chance to differentiate the two. The commissioner of the Supreme Court, what do they do?
It's something like what I said. You have to sign. A JP can serve as a magistrate. A commissioner can serve as a judge. Right? So it's two. The commissioner it's appointed by the Chief Justice only.
Okay.
Only by the Chief Justice. And
how what's the population of that?
We have I think it's 800 commissioners in the country. Again, right now, as we speak, I'm talking with the Chief Justice, and we are preparing ourselves to to get a chart to see where we have commissioners, where do we need more, because
what are their roles?
Their roles,
other than acting as a judge when necessary or when appointed to do so.
We sign documents for banks when there's one bank is paying out to another bank a loan. That's when you need a commissioner. When somebody needs excuse from a jury, a commissioner must sign it. And when there's one person selling a property to another person, there's a commissioner of the court has to sign it. So they have different roles, and both roles are very, very important.
Okay. So with the AGM coming up, who is invited to come, and what are you hoping is going to be the outcome?
Okay. Well, I believe we'll have a full house this Sunday, and especially like we have the Attorney General being our guest speaker. We have from all the districts people. Well, it happens every year, but I think this year we'll have more, and it's a lot of work because imagine 15 people coming from Punta Gorda. They have to leave at 3 in the morning to be here for 9. Corozal or Rinjoak, and what we do is we have to prepare breakfast for them when they come in, and before they leave, we have to give them lunch. So it costs, and as you know, JPs cannot charge for the services, so we have to do fundraising for things like this. And the meeting will be this Sunday, and it starts at 9 in the morning. Okay. And we have representatives from we have a chapter in Los Angeles. Yes, so a representative will come from LA to also address, because what we do is apart from my report, each president gives a 2-minute presentation about their chapters, so that the JPs who are there know what's happening. And we have a system using emails for JPs that when we meet every second Wednesday of the month for our meetings, and we send out all the minutes to all who are members, who are registered with us. We send out minutes to them so that when I'm here speaking, everybody knows that we're talking the same language. And the association rule is that the monthly meetings, because every chapter has a monthly meeting. The monthly meeting is for the executive committee, but I have changed it as the president, and I said, no, I invite any JP to come to our meeting. So sometimes it's 20 JPs are there, because we're open, we have nothing to hide. And I think that's the reason why we exist, and we're only 600, but we're strong. We continue to serve the public, although we know we're in an uphill battle, so we don't give up. And one of the best things is that nobody can interfere with us. We're independent, very independent. So we're elected by our own fellow JPs. The term is 2 years. I've been there from 2002. And as I tell my presidents, I say, do not accept the position. The position comes with responsibility and hard work. And that's how we do it. So I just want to remind the public that this Sunday we're having our AGM. And
where will it be?
It will be at BIM, Belize Institute of Management.
In Belize City.
In Belize City. That's where we have it.
And what time it starts?
It starts at 9 in the morning.
Okay.
But as I said, the training that we'll be doing, I believe will assist us a lot, and hopefully that we can bring in those 3,000 JPs so that they could look at the situation to see
how you can
and get a recommitment. Yes, I think that's one of the best things that can happen.
Yeah, because some JPs, even at meetings, they would suggest, why don't we get paid? So I would tell them right away, say, did you read the oath that you signed, or you just signed the oath? Without fear or favor, it says. I say, if you read that oath, you know that you cannot charge for the service. I would tell them, and if you do not want to do the job as a JP because it's too much work, resign. That's the easiest thing to do.
Well, Danny, we wanna congratulate you on being able to get the association going to this point, and best of luck with the AGM. I'm sure there seems to be some movement taking place, so we'll hear more from you again.
Much more to be done.
All right.
Definitely.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, it's to talk with representatives of Rotary Club of Belize Sunrise and St. John's Vianney Primary School, so stay tuned.